Hey, this is Chris Menard. I'm going to show you one of my favorite Excel functions. I use this for data analysis all the time. It is the unique function, but in this training session, I'll combine it with sort, I'll combine it with count A, and then I'm also going to do something advanced with choose columns in this video. So let's dive in right now. The unique function is available to M365 users, whether you have a Windows machine, a Mac, and it's also available for Excel for the web. So I want to know how many unique employee IDs I have, because if you notice, some of them repeat. So in cell G2, I'm going to do equal unique. I'm going to highlight A2 down to A53. And there is my answer in cell G2. And there's the unique function up in the formula bar right there. Now, I'm going to just tweak it here, and instead of doing A2 to A53, just so you know you can do this, I could do A2 through B53. Those two columns are right next to each other, so that worked with no problem. You can also combine unique with sort. So let me just edit one more time. The sort function, available again to M365 users, and the unique function right here. And I am sorting by the employee ID right there. There's my list. So I use unique a lot, and I'll also use sort. Now, if I want to know how many unique employee IDs I had, I could honestly easily select them. Down in the status bar is 19. If I want that number, I can click on it and just go paste it, Control V, and that'll give me 19. Of course, that's static. It's not going to change. So I'll use this frequently. I'll want to know the number of unique I have without having to go highlight them, because possibly could have 19,000 or 190,000. So over in cell I1, the count A function will count text and numbers. There's my number 52 right there. So count A gave me 52, but I'm going to do equal count A and put it with unique or unique inside of that. And that was A2 to A53. And there's the number 19 there. If I add somebody, it would change. I would normally have this data range inside of it as a table. I'm just not right now, just to keep this simple. So there's 19. Keep on going. I called this sort and unique too. If I want to know how many unique training classes we had, still unique. And that is going to be C2 to C53. And there I go. And I could sort that also, adding sort at the beginning. Let's go ahead and do that. There we are. Now, here's the issue. The first sort and unique right here, back over in G, it was A2 to B53. Those two columns are next to each other. The issue now, and you'll run in this occasionally, I need the employee ID, and I also need, I'm making this up, the city offered. So employee ID is sitting in column 1, and city offered is the 5th column over. So if I just try to do this anyway, equal unique, and that would be A2 to A53. And here's the issue. We normally, if we're summing stuff, we would do a column. But if I do E2 to E53, as you can see, pound value, so that is clearly not working. So what we have is another Excel function that I'm going to explain right here. I have column A through E. They all have numbers in them. If I want to return the first column and the 4th column, as this example, I can do choose. We've got choose rows, and we have choose columns. I'm using choose columns in this example. I'm going to select all of the information, comma, what columns do you want to show? I said column 1, and I feel like I said column 4. We'll use that. So there you go. There's column 1, the 100 through 11 over here in G, and there is the 4th column right there. And you can continue on with this, column 1, column 4, column 5 right there. So that is the choose columns function. So back over here, I wanted the first column, and then the city offered the fifth column. So let's do unique, choose columns, highlight all the information, got it all selected, comma, column 1, column 5, and there we go right there. So that is showing the employee ID in every unique city where they took a class. Let me just go and change this real quick so I can show you this. Let me sort this. So if you look at me, I've got myself as the very first employee ID, and I have Atlanta listed here twice. But over here for me, it shows Atlanta just one time. So that is what it's doing. And it is pulling from non-adjacent columns with the choose column function. And I could have also, by the way, let me just go ahead and do this. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 5. Let's see if that works. And there you go, right there. That's even easier to see. And again, let's wrap that inside of sort. And there we go. So now, even if this was sorted in a different order, the actual data over in column L, I've got sort with unique with choose column. One other great bonus tip about using unique and also using sort is I'm on a completely different worksheet. I have the same companies listed twice for Q1 of 2026, and then we got Q2 of 2026. I'm just going to go ahead and point this out. I get data like this all the time. So if I go make a pivot table and try to analyze the revenue for the periods, it would be incorrect. So I'll sometimes just flat out do unique first if the companies are what I'm analyzing. And let's add that sort to it also again. Equals sort. So in cell F2, I did sort and unique. And if you notice down below here, I've got JP Morgan Chase twice. Someone went crazy with the space bar and hit 2 spaces between Morgan and Chase. And anything I see here is Google, but then Google Alphabet, I would need to fix that. So it's also a great fixture. Coca-Cola is also, need to fix that also. So it's another great way to find stuff that just isn't quite right before you start analyzing your data. Now, if this was really me, I do use sort and unique a lot, but here's another bonus tip. I'm going to select B2 down to cell B35, and I am expecting to have duplicate data. So I could go to Format, Conditional Formatting on the Home tab, highlight Cells Rules, and a lot of people know how to use duplicate values, and there are the duplicates. The bonus tip is this: instead of seeing the duplicates, tell it you want to see just the unique, because that's actually what I'm expecting duplicates here. So now when I do this, you can see right here, I've got the uniques highlighted. And then from here, you could filter this. I'm going to right click on one of the background colors, filter, and filter by a selected cell color. And from here, you could also sort this if you wanted to. And you can see now what you need to clean up also over here. So there you go. I appreciate your time. I hope you will start using the unique function. It is a fantastic function. Use sort with it, use choose columns with it. Great function. Appreciate your time. My online training is available. Thank you.